because there are a lot of people that are living happy, healthy, successful lives that aren't burning themselves down, while there is this large proportion of us that keep doing the same thing and expecting that we're going to get a different result. And I think the statistics say it all. The statistics say that, what's heart disease is the third leading cause of death in the UK. And we know that's a lifestyle disease that's completely come. Yeah, and look at alcohol and what alcohol is doing to our country and all of those things. And so I always said to myself, do I just want to become another statistic? No, I don't. And so I need to make a choice to make a change.
Do you think that's coming from a lot of these big wigs who need to sound important? So when they're saying what they do, they ham it up like, I'm working 24/7, I'm doing that. Where in reality, they're not. But because there's this belief that you have to be grinding 24/7, you have to be hustling every day, that the people who are trying to get like them don't realize that the stuff that they're doing work and the stress they're putting themselves under isn't actually what these big wigs put on. Because look at Tim Ferriss, the 4 hour work week. People said, no way can you run a business doing roughly 4 hours a week. Not possible. And he's saying, well, you can if you do the systems and stuff. But we'd rather believe that you're working 24/7, so it justifies what you're doing. Is there an element of kind of not understanding and kind of trying to emulate, but overexertion, and we're not actually getting anywhere because we're going too much compared to what that person's actually doing, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I sometimes think, and I thought this myself, that we think that we'll be different, don't we? Or we'll be different, we'll be better at this, or it won't affect us. Or I had this thing of I'm invincible. And for a long time, I felt like I pretty much was. But it catches up with all of us, in the long run. And I think, I think you've got to be careful who you listen to and the advice you take, And I think I look at my brother and I look at that period before he took his life and how he was breaking him, just working himself down to the ground. And I could see it. And it was 6 months before he died, I bought him that book by Professor Matthew Walker, Why We Sleep. And I don't know, for anyone that wants to improve their sleep, I really, really think because it will scare you, because ultimately the shorter you sleep, the quicker you die. That is the bottom line. And at that time, my brother was sleeping 4.5 hours a night, maybe 5 hours. Jeez. And I was like, oh, this cannot continue. You cannot continue like this. And I think, but why? It was being on that treadmill, trying to keep up with that blueprint, but we've got to see that there is another way. And I think one thing I always do with my clients is get them to list all the choices that they have available to them right now. Because I think a lot of the time we feel that we've only got one choice, and that's why we stay stuck.
Yeah.
But why don't we just stop, do a bit of self-care and spend some time in solitude, thinking about who you are, why you matter and why you exist, and think about the other choices that we have, because there's many ways to skin a cat, isn't there? And that doesn't mean that one way that's obviously driving us to poor health and stress, to me, kind of doesn't the cost benefit analysis of that is saying to me that ain't worth it. No. I always say to people, what's the point of reaching the top in failing health? Well done. You got to the top of your career, but your health is screwed. What are you going to do then?
And that's the thing, is that you think one more day, I'm just going to keep going day to day. It will be worth it because I'm going to make this millions later on.